I have transferred the money. You should receive the alert in a few seconds' time.
Wow, really? Thanks, babe. Foolish woman, after free or poor, you still transfer money join. By the time I'm through with you, you no go do longer throat for another woman husband again.
Open your eyes. This is Lagos, oh. If care is not taken, people fit up where you for free and take your money like saying nothing. My people, gather around and hear this story. See how one woman walked straight into a free or poor chance, thinking she hit jackpot, but ended up losing everything. Today, we go learn one serious lesson about envy, greed, and how not everything you see online is real. If pretending to be rich was a full-time job, Bisola would never be late to work. In fact, she would probably be promoted. Every morning in Lagos, before brushing her teeth properly, Bisola was already holding her phone, adjusting her wig, and checking the light to see where it would make her look like a rich woman. Once the angle was good, she smiled like someone whose bank account had no limits. Bisola lived with her husband, Mr. Abayomi, in a small apartment in Lagos. There was nothing wrong with the apartment, but it was not the kind of place you would expect a big madam to live. Yet online, Bisola looked like a woman who had houses in Lekki and cars she had not driven yet. Her secret was simple: borrowing. Bisola borrowed bags from friends. She borrowed shoes from cousins. She borrowed clothes from people who did not even like her. Sometimes she rented expensive items just for one day. She would wear them, take pictures from different angles, smile, pose, laugh, then return everything before sunset. After that, she would post the pictures slowly, one by one, as if she bought everything at once. Mr. Abayomi was her perfect partner in crime. He knew how to act rich without spending money. He wore neat suits bought on credit and spoke loudly on the phone in public places. Whenever people were around, he suddenly had important calls. He talked about contracts, meetings, and business trips that did not exist. People listened and nodded with respect. At night, when everywhere was quiet, they would sit on their small sofa and laugh. They laughed at comments calling them goals. They laughed at friends asking for connections. They laughed at people who believed they were rich. Mr. Abayomi always said that in Lagos, looking rich was better than being rich. Bisola agreed. One evening, after posting pictures from a borrowed hotel room, Bisola checked her phone and smiled proudly. She had many likes. That was when she saw a message from her friend Mercy. Mercy was different. Mercy was actually wealthy. Her husband, Mr. Bassey, was a successful businessman. He worked hard, earned well, and lived comfortably. They did not shout about money online. Mercy posted simple pictures, sometimes food, sometimes family moments, nothing loud. But slowly, Mercy had started feeling uncomfortable. Each time she opened social media, Bisola was there. New bag, new shoe, new restaurant, new trip. Mercy started asking herself questions she never asked before. How is Bisola living this kind of life? How is her husband always spending? Why does my own life look so quiet? At first, she tried to ignore the thoughts, but the thoughts stayed. One night, Mercy looked at her husband eating quietly and suddenly felt irritated. Mr. Bassey noticed and asked her what was wrong. Mercy said nothing, but inside her heart, comparison had already entered. The next time Bisola posted another expensive picture, Mercy stared at it for a long time. She zoomed in, she checked the background, she checked the comments. People were praising Bisola and her husband. Mercy felt something heavy in her chest. She started believing that Bisola and Mr. Abayomi were richer than her and her husband. That belief slowly changed her behavior. She started complaining. She started asking Mr. Bassey why they were not traveling often, why he was not showing wealth, why he was always calm. Mr. Bassey tried to explain that life was peaceful and comfortable, but Mercy was no longer listening. One afternoon, Mercy visited Bisola. Bisola welcomed her like a rich madam. She spoke confidently and moved around the house like she owned a mansion, even though the house was small. She talked about trips, business, and connections. Mercy listened quietly, absorbing every word. That day, Mercy saw Mr. Abayomi properly. He greeted her politely, dressed well, confident, relaxed. He spoke like a man who knew money. Mercy watched him carefully. Something shifted in her heart. She went home that day thinking deeply. From that moment, Mercy started paying attention to Mr. Abayomi. She noticed how confident he was. She noticed how he carried himself. She compared him to her husband. The comparison was unfair, but she did not care. One evening, Mercy sent Mr. Abayomi a simple message. Just greetings. Mr. Abayomi showed Bisola immediately. Bisola laughed. She told her husband to reply politely. The messages continued. Compliments entered. Admiration followed. Mercy started opening up. Mr. Abayomi listened patiently. He never rushed. He acted like a careful rich man. Soon, they started meeting quietly. Whenever they went out, Mr. Abayomi ordered small things. When it was time to pay, he complained about bank issues. Mercy paid happily. She felt important. She believed she was with a wealthy man who was just unlucky sometimes. At home, Mr. Abayomi reported everything to Bisola. They laughed and mocked Mercy. They planned carefully. Meanwhile, Mercy started neglecting her home. She ignored her husband. She believed she had found something better. Then one day, Mr. Abayomi told her about a big contract. Millions were involved. Mercy's heart jumped. She believed her life was about to change. She did not know that would be the beginning of the end for her, that it would destroy everything she thought she had. Mercy did not sleep well after Mr. Abayomi told her about the contract. Her body was on the bed, but her mind was already flying far away. She imagined herself stepping into a bigger life. She imagined traveling more, dressing better, and finally proving to herself that she deserved more than what she currently had. Each time she closed her eyes, she saw money multiplying. By morning, her decision was already made. She called Mr. Abayomi early and asked him how much he needed. He acted reluctant at first. He told her he did not like collecting money from people. He said he was used to handling things on his own. Mercy insisted. She told him she trusted him. She told him she believed in him. When the amount finally came out, her heart skipped. It was a lot of money, but Mercy did not think twice. She had access to it. She convinced herself that this was an investment, not a loss. She transferred the money that same day. When Mr. Abayomi received the alert, he stared at his phone for a long time. Then he smiled slowly. When he got home, he showed Bisola without saying a word. Bisola screamed in excitement and covered her mouth quickly so neighbors would not hear. That money was more than they had ever seen at once. They did not celebrate immediately. They were careful. They knew the most dangerous time in a lie was when success came too quickly. They agreed to act normal. Mr. Abayomi continued sending Mercy sweet messages. He thanked her repeatedly. He promised her that once the contract was secured, everything would change. Mercy believed every word. She felt proud of herself. She felt smarter than her friend. She felt chosen. At home, Mercy completely ignored Mr. Bassey. Mr. Bassey noticed everything. The late nights, the phone calls she stepped outside to answer, the way she smiled at her phone and frowned at him. He asked her calmly what was wrong. Mercy told him he worried too much. Days passed. Mercy tried calling Mr. Abayomi one afternoon. His phone did not connect. She told herself maybe he was in a meeting. She waited. The next day, she called again. Still no answer. A small fear entered her heart, but she pushed it away. She reminded herself that wealthy men were busy. My lovely listeners, are you thinking the same thing I am thinking right now? Did Mr. Abayomi truly run away with the money, or was he genuinely too busy to respond? If you want answers to these questions, let us jump back into the story and find out together. Meanwhile, Mr. Abayomi and Bisola were already packing quietly. They sold what little they had. They cleared the house. They avoided neighbors. They bought tickets using fake stories. To the world, they were still rich. Online, Bisola posted old pictures and scheduled them to upload later. Mercy drove to Bisola's house on the third day. The gate was locked. She knocked. No answer. She asked neighbors. They said the couple traveled. No one knew where. That was when fear became panic. Mercy returned home shaking. She called Mr. Abayomi again and again. No response. She sent messages. None were delivered. That night, she could not hide it anymore. She cried quietly. Mr. Bassey asked her what was wrong. She shouted at him and told him to leave her alone. But truth has a way of finding light. Mr. Bassey later discovered everything. The messages, the calls, the money, the betrayal. He sat quietly for a long time. When he finally spoke, his voice was calm but broken. He asked Mercy why she did it. Mercy cried and said she thought she was upgrading her life. She said she thought Mr. Abayomi was richer. Mr. Bassey shook his head slowly. He told her she destroyed peace for illusion. He asked her to leave his house. Mercy packed her things in silence. The house that once felt boring now felt like heaven she had foolishly rejected. She stepped out with nothing but regret. Somewhere far away, Mr. Abayomi and Bisola were smiling. They had escaped. They were already planning their next fake life. Mercy was left to face the consequences of envy. The lesson was clear. Not everything you see online is real. Contentment is wealth. Envy is expensive. Moral lessons. Not everything you see online is real. Many people live fake lives just to impress others, and those who believe everything they see often end up disappointed. Envy can blind a person and make them lose what they already have. When someone focuses too much on another person's life, they stop appreciating their own blessings. Contentment protects peace. A satisfied heart avoids unnecessary trouble, stress, and regret. Constant comparison destroys happiness. Measuring your life against others can quietly ruin relationships and homes. Greed opens the door to deception. The desire to have more than enough can make people fall easily into traps. Trust should be given carefully. Not everyone who looks successful is honest or genuine. A peaceful and honest marriage is more valuable than a flashy life built on lies. When pride takes control of the heart, wisdom disappears and wrong decisions follow. Chasing another person's life can make you lose your own, including love, respect, and stability. Lies may succeed for a short time, but they always leave behind pain, regret, and broken lives. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share it with your loved ones so they can learn valuable lessons from it. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, see you in my next video. Be good, be gentle, and have a lovely day. Bye.